So I just want to take a second to reiterate that I really want you to explore. There are a ton of filters in here to play with. And here's a great way to continue working. I can go up to my image. I say, you know, this looks pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is just do File Save. Because remember, this was V2. And now I'm going to just do File Save As. And I'm going to call it Show Flyer V3. And then I right click on my smart filter and choose Clear Smart Filters. So now I'm back to the beginning. Now let me just totally explore all new filters, all new ways to experiment with how I can modify this image. Really feel free to explore and experiment. It's really critical that you get comfortable playing around with things. I may even want to go in and change the way that this image looks using some of my older tools that I already played with. Remember earlier when we went to image adjustments, all of these options we played with? And note that when we make these changes now, let's just do hue and saturation. This is something we've used before. Look at this. It's a smart filter. That means that I can paint it in and erase it and pull that stripe trick. So I could, actually, here's a cool trick. I'm going to turn the saturation all the way down. And maybe I'll even do colorize. And I'm going to just pick. Remember, I'm going to go back to my image with the girl here. See, she's got these brown streaks. I can fake that in Photoshop as well, because I'm going to just choose colorize here, turn it into this sepia kind of tone, and tell it okay. But look, it's a smart filter. So what does that mean? That means I can easily go back in with my selection tool, and I can do the same trick here. Oh, and I need to make sure that I'm on that mask. And there we go. Who knows? This may look really great. It may look really terrible. You don't know until you give it a shot. And that's really what Photoshop's about, is trying new things and experimenting, taking big chances, giving it a shot. And you know, that looks kind of cool too. What if we created both? What if we did another smart filter where we had some of it blurry? That might be a cool way to play with it. So there's all different ways to experiment, and you can always just create another version of the file and give it a try. Or if you don't like what happened, you can just clear those smart filters out and I can totally start over and try again that way. There are so many filters and so many different settings to explore, why not give them a try? One cool trick that I should show you about is the filter gallery, and I believe this was a sidebar in the book somewhere. But I can click on filter gallery and it will sort of show me a preview. I can go through here, and this is a great way to get a preview of how the filters are going to look. And so these are many of the filters that are available, and then I can change here all of these settings and I can get a preview of what they look like. Not every filter shows up this way, but there are a fair amount, and it can give you a pretty cool way to experiment with the image and think about ways to sort of change it around. Here's those distort options. So all kinds of ways that I can play with the image, sketching, stylize, there's all sorts of options. And this is all just within that one feature. It's really cool how it allows you to try all the different options. And again, you get there by going to Filter, Filter Gallery. So I've really encouraged you guys to explore, and I want to continue to encourage you to explore. The only way to master Photoshop is to really experiment and get comfortable taking chances, taking risks, and getting really comfortable with that undo button. Or use smart filters where you know you can always undo your changes. So go ahead and experiment. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to just play around with some of the different filters, layer styles, experiment any way that you want. And then we're going to talk about really quick in the last few videos, just how to prepare this for the client to look at before we send it to press.